After over a month of fulfilling my promise to shiny hunt Arceus, or Arceus, however you want to pronounce it, thanks to a wonderful viewer, I finally found my shiny Arceus at 2,944 encounters, over 1,000 encounters before full odds. Now comes the hard part. Getting all of the ribbons from BDSP, Legends Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet onto him.
Is there more to us than the words we say, the games we play? Can we know that we're not dreaming?
So, let's start off with an introduction. Say hi to the first member of what I call the Masterball Club. A club exclusively for Pokemon that I deemed worthy of using a Master Ball, whether for rarity or because of, whatever reason. Everyone, say hello to my shiny Latias I spent 5 years searching on and off for in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Hello! I call her Starlight.
The most wonderful horse in the universe.
Look, don't ask. It'll save you the trouble. If you get the joke, you get the joke. But anyway, she comes all the way from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and she has a ton of ribbons to prove it. Every new gen, new game she's able to glide into, I make sure to get all the ribbons as possible onto her. I'm going to be running around for weeks trying to get the partner mark on her when she arrives, but that's until then. This is about my shiny Arceus. He's shiny, and just like Starlight, I'm going to be getting all the ribbons I can, starting with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. But to do that, I need to prepare big time. See, there are 22 ribbons available in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and all of them can be attained by a single Pokemon, if one so desired. But to do so requires time, patience, luck, preparation, and knowledge. Let's get started with the quickest, starting in Sunny Shore City. There's a lady who tells stories. If you listen to her stories with a Pokemon in the lead, she will give you a ribbon based on the story/day. So, all I need to do is listen with Arceus. And after talking to her, finding out this is my first time talking to her, I now have to wait 24 hours to actually talk to her for the first ribbon. But after that 24-hour period, I just do this 7 days in a row and we're good to go for those ribbons. Unfortunately, we can't time skip, so yeah. Moving on, there's another ribbon we can obtain, but I can't yet because to acquire it requires Arceus to have used all 510 of his EVs or effort values. It's called the effort ribbon. I know, big surprise. We can max out our EVs by using proteins, feathers, or just good old-fashioned knocking out random Pokemon. The next ones are easy but time-consuming. First up is the Best Friends ribbon, a ribbon given to a Pokemon whom you have maximum friendship with. At the moment, Arceus isn't my friend, but with time and leveling and maybe some EV berries, he'll be my best friend, and we can get this ribbon for him. Wait a minute, those were the easy ones? And I couldn't get any of them on the first stream? Well, let's move on to the next ones. The Sinnoh Champion ribbon requires you to become the Sinnoh Champion, big surprise, by defeating the Elite Four and Cynthia. Relatively easy, right? I mean, you have shiny Arceus on your side, the god of all Pokemon. You got this in the bag, right? Wrong. Because while, yes, Arceus is a higher level than Cynthia, depending on if you catch Heatran or not, he only outlevels her Garchomp, her strongest team member, by the way, by 1 level. The first time you fight her, the strongest level Pokemon is her Garchomp at level 66. But even at 66, it surpasses Arceus, because this is BDSP Cynthia, her strongest form. Her Pokemon are all perfectly EV and IV trained, have perfect competitive natures with good moves and abilities and ideal items. She is basically a high-ranked Smogon player that gets to use at least 2 full restores during a battle, who also plays smart. Since I do not have any way to properly EV train, bottle cap, nature, relearn moves, nothing in BDSP like I have in Scarlet Violet, my Pokemon are very subpar and inferior in almost every way. Even my Arceus has a less than ideal nature. My only advantage is levels. But remember what I said about Cynthia being just 1 level lower than my Arceus. That's only her 2nd form in BDSP. Since I never caught Heatran in BDSP, I lucked out with her going up even higher. Otherwise, her Lucario changes items, she swaps Roserade out for a Porygon Z, she gets a different move set, and her Garchomp is level 89. Just 11 levels below 100. Yeah, and that's just her! The Elite Four are also not pushovers. With new team members, moves, higher levels, the works. Beating her is possible, but it's going to take a lot of effort and especially money to get through quickly with little losses, especially on the PowerPoints department. But thanks to a bit of shenanigans, a lot of sacrifices on some of my story team, and nearly all of my revives and hyper potions, we defeat Garchomp and obtain our first ribbon. Wait, did I say Garchomp? I thought we were fighting Cynthia. The next ribbons are the most time consuming, and while not hard to get, take a ton of money to acquire. The Royal Ribbon, the Gorgeous Ribbon, and the Royal Gorgeous Ribbons are 3 ribbons sold at the resort area at 10,000, 100,000, and 1 million Pokédollars respectively, or 999,999 if you want to get technical. To get these ribbons would require a ton of grinding at the Pokemon League. With the aid of the Amulet Coin, I can improve my income drastically, but the catch is, with how hard the Elite Four is, and Cynthia, it would take some time, and I have enough nightmares with Cynthia on her weakest level. So, my viewer Emily Floof told me about these 2 old people outside of Hearthstone City, with pets that I can beat up over and over and save myself the time and effort to constantly micromanage my finances between buying revives, hyper potions, and full heals while grinding the Elite Four and Cynthia again. Once, Starlight lets me pass the lady keeping me out by showing off all of her ribbons, I made my purchases of the Royal Ribbon for 10,000, the Gorgeous Ribbon for 100,000, and the Gorgeous Royal Ribbon for 999,999 Pokédollars, bringing me to 4 ribbons of 20. The final set of ribbons are found here in Hearthstone City, specifically the contest hall. Here is where true time-consuming comes into play. In order to get these ribbons, Arceus and I must compete and become contest star winners in each of the 5 contests for coolness, beauty, cuteness, clever, and toughness categories. If Arceus can become a contest star in all 5, he'll receive the contest star ribbon as well. The final ribbon, the Twinkling Star ribbon, requires him to be the star of all ranks in the Super Contest, the hardest category. To achieve this, and give him the best odds of winning, he needs to have maximum stats in all 5 categories, have a contest ball with various stickers to improve his appearance, me to master DDR mechanics, and be wearing an appropriate scarf to give him a boost in each of the categories. For this, we'll need berries to make poffins, and good ones. The problem is, poffins can only be fed to him a certain number of times before he won't eat it anymore. So, I need to make sure each Poffin is high quality to ensure he maxes his 5 stats. This takes the most time as I need to grow berries to ensure I have what I need in case I mess up. And my first attempt failed. But, if the stars align, Arceus will be the twinkling star of all Pokemon. After much effort. Now, there are 2 ribbons that I can't get, unfortunately, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The first is the Tower Master ribbon. It is beyond Arceus at this time, because he is banned from participating in the Battle Tower, and so cannot get to it. He could get it in Sword and Shield, but he's not allowed past Galar Border Patrol. What? The second is the Footprint Ribbon. Since Arceus in BDSP is at level 80, we can't get 30 levels on him to get the Footprint Ribbon at this time. Despite what Cerebi says, having a high friendship isn't enough to get it in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. But before we do leave, we get the ribbons we are missing, specifically friendship and effort after getting the 7-day ribbons, meaning we leave with 20 of 22 possible ribbons. Now, on to Legends Arceus. There is only one ribbon for Arceus to acquire here, and that is the Hisui ribbon, and that requires me to take a picture with him in Jubilite Village. Oh, don't we look snazzy together? Finally, on to Scarlet and Violet.
It's been 3,000 years.
Now, there are a few more to get here. One for his size if he's either the biggest or the smallest Arceus in the world, one for being the champion of the Paldea region, one for picking up a lot of items, one for eating food with me, and finally, one for being in my party while I walk with them. A lot. I can easily check for his size in Mesa Goza, since I can retrain his IVs and bottle cap him. Beating up the weakest champion ever, Gita, if she dares face me, is easy peasy lemon squeezy. I can slowly walk with Arceus in Kitakami to pick up items on the ground. And finally, how does he eat? Like, seriously, how does he eat? Where's his mouth? The final ribbon is so much luck based involved, I can't predict if/when he'll ever get it. But with that, we have all of the possible ribbons I can give Shiny Arceus. Some can't be gotten, like the Destiny mark, the Mightiest mark, and of course the Titan and Alpha marks, but that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed this journey that I had with getting more ribbons onto a Pokemon. I'll see you all next time. I want to die.
When you've reached the point where you can't go on, just come to me, you'll be safe from harm. If you trust in me, then I'll trust in you. There's nothing more that I need to do. If you put your hands in front of mine, we'll be shining through one at a time. Just understand you